call this meeting in order at 18:30 hours. It's down on the agenda, the recognition of the public, which is Dennis Franklin is here for volunteer work, and Kurt Meyer and Mike from the Reformer, and of course Ian. And it'll be approval of minutes from the last meeting.
I'd like to make the motion that we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Katie, did you get my question about that? I had asked what we were talking about.
You didn't pass a motion.
Okay.
It was just discussion.
That was just discussion.
Yep, I actually re-listened to it to make sure
Okay,
that...
and so this was the discussion about that, the woman, Laura, was her name?
Yep,
Sibilia, who came and talked to us about that amount of money they wanted for the Vermont, what does that stand for? Economic Development? Southern
Southeastern Vermont Economic Development Strategies.
And we had discussed whether or not to just have the select board put it on the agenda so that there would be discussion at town meeting as opposed to a petition. And I think we sort of leaned that way, but we didn't make a motion.
Yeah.
So do we want to just sit and wait, or did we want to
Just
make...
sit and wait.
I wasn't sure if they would submit a formal request.
Oh.
And then you'd opt to not do the petition process?
think-
How do we leave it with her?
I don't know, I can follow up with her
Well, I
to
just-
ensure that there's...
Feel the onus should be on them, not us. I mean,
Okay.
we're not gonna take the ball and run with it for them. If they want something, they oughta
Right, let them try to get through the
do
details.
that.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to be sure there was an opportunity to discuss it at town meeting, so that's fine. And we haven't taken that action very often, so. Okay.
Dennis, you're up on the new business.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think you all know why I'm here. Due to the fact that I'm working 7 days a week trying to keep my sanity, I do not have the time that I would like to put into the Wyndham Regional Commission. So I need to resign effective immediately.
And Dennis, what I was hoping you could talk to the board about a little bit, because Dennis called me and I said it'd be great if you could come to a board meeting just to tell us a little bit about the work. So that, I mean, I think I was a little surprised. I would have been unaware of the level of responsibility and commitment and work and travel that was involved in. So could you tell us a little bit more about that so we have a better understanding?
They would like you to be on at least one committee, if not two. And the committee that I was on was the Transportation Committee, which was interesting, but there was a lot of, you had one meeting a month, but there was an awful lot of emails with homework and things that they wanted you to do.
So the transportation had one meeting, committee had a meeting a month, as well as the regular Wyndham Commission. That's 2 meetings a month.
Yeah.
And a lot of reading.
And they wanted you to go to select boards and different things, and just, you know, there's going to be a large time commitment to it that I just, at this point, I don't have that time. Like I said, I'm working 7 days a week just trying to get my paperwork done for my own business.
So have you given any of that feedback to them, like to Matt? He was your...
No, not really. I mean, I just...
Yeah, because I think it'd be good for the Wyndham Regional to understand.
I think they do understand.
Do they do understand that they're asking a lot of people?
I think they do. I think they do realize that.
Okay.
So you know, so you're giving the official resignation then? Huh?
I am.
Do we have to vote on this?
And as
Do we have to
I
accept?
agreed to take it with the understanding that if it did not work out, I could step down and there would be no problem.
And I'm just wondering, I mean, I just was wondering if we want to, as a board, make any kind of statement to Wyndham Regional about the level of commitment they're asking. It doesn't sound, Katie, from what you're saying, or Dennis, from what you're saying, that they have a lot of room to move in terms of what they're asking people?
Probably not. I don't know.
Don't, and I find that the people that represent towns are either a lot of times retired, or like for example, if it's on the transportation committee, they might be a road commissioner.
Yeah,
in a
somewhat.
town. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of crosses into their work life.
I didn't see any road commissioners on there when I was there, but
there are a
lot
fair
of,
amount of retired folks
yes,
that do it.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you know, like they wanted to take a train ride drive down to Hartford or somewhere and ride up on the train and do all that kind of thing. And you
Well, I
know.
guess I just wanted to somehow, if you don't wanna do it, that's fine, I wanted to give them the feedback, that it's a whole lot to ask of a person. And so, and then we need to think about that when we try to find a replacement for you.
That's why John was a great.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, we will accept your resignation.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm sorry it didn't work out, but it just,
Well, thanks
This
for
time of
stepping
year.
I'd
in.
like to make a motion to accept your resignation with regret, understanding regret.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And maybe we can find something else way down the road where it don't take up so much time.
don't look too hard, Dick. I may be getting a little bit of help on some of the paperwork at home, but not enough.
Well, do we have any ideas for somebody to replace Dennis, or do we need to think about that some more?
But the volunteers, somebody that retired, a lot of time on their hands.
I know Richard Clark. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Herb won't let me get too involved with Herb.
All right, well, we'll think on
We'll
it.
think about somebody, yeah.
Okay.
I say thank you for stopping by.
Thanks, Dennis.
You're welcome.
Thanks, bud.
Private donation.
You guys have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Say hi to your ladies.
I will.
Thank you.
Gotta go home and get some fresh apple, Chris.
Oh, lucky duck.
I'm going with Dennis.
Private donation, to Doug Dempster, it's $100 discretionary use. Some time ago, there was a couple stopped in the town office, and they were looking for some Shepardson information.
What's
Yeah.
that? Who are the shepherds?
Shepardson were a very prominent family in town at one point,
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Do you know?
and I hope not, they left back in the 1800s.
Oh, good.
And Penny called me thinking I might know something, so I came down and I said, well, actually, I said, my house is built on the Shepardson household, cell home, blah, blah, blah. What are you looking for? I said, a cemetery. And so I gave him two choices of cemeteries. They went up on the hill up here, Guilford Cemetery. And I never gave it a thought, but last week there was a box of peanuts that showed up.
Almonds.
Almonds, I should say, that got shared throughout the office, and nobody knew exactly where they came from. They had his name on it. And there was a letter somewhere
It was hidden in a
that
pile.
were hidden in the package with him, and then it was a $100 check to use to some organization in town and thanking us for their help and
Wow.
and all that. So basically, you need to send him a thank you letter for the donation, and probably not do that until we figure out where to go with it. But
So the name of the person who made the donation is Doug Dempster.
for the Dempster, yeah. And they're relatives of Shepherdson's, but
Well, good for you. Thanks for giving
Yeah.
us $100.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Now, where's the almonds?
wow. Yeah.
I didn't have lunch a few days, so guess what? They're in my stomach.
So discretionary use.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Anybody have any ideas?
It wasn't made out to anything. I thought of putting my name on it, but I've not been able to do that.
You're on meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Well, I think something might come up to us.
Yeah, and
During
just,
budget time.
just bring it up so
Yeah.
that we can.
My first instinct is either a donation to the library or to one of the scholarship funds. That just occurs to me. That,
Yeah.
those are places that could always use a donation, or historical society or some organization. I don't know.
Any one of those three would be good.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
We're not gonna do a 4th of July fund?
Well, there's supposedly money in the vault. No, I could do that too.
Well, let's wait. Let's hold off and look during budget time, because we'll look at all those organizations and just.
Well, that's.
I think historical society, actually, because of the history, because of the
Originally, he
shepherds.
had said that he had missed the 250th,
Uh-huh.
that he still wanted to contribute in some way to the town. That
Yeah.
was sort of what
Yeah. Yeah,
his
so maybe
So-
spirit
history.
was.
If he contributed to the 4th of July fireworks, that would be contributing to the other town. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So more thought will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, water line update.
It's.
Other than they flushed the line again the other
The
day.
meter pit is complete. And the first round of water testing is complete and free of bacteria. There is a second test that will be done to ensure that everything is clear to move forward with connections. There are a few items that remain to be completed on the punch list, so 20% is being retained until we can ensure.
From the contractor.
Yes.
And then, we need to make a form for people to say, I'm drawing a blank on the word.
They'll basically do an allocation request.
Thank you.
Which I'm working with Steve Barrett to try and get our process and our language down. So, because there's certain things that I have to include.
Because I'm not sure if you've heard, I've heard from some people who want water,
Yeah.
and so.
And I have to.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Is there any idea of a timeline on when people are gonna be able to hook up?
Pretty quick, but what they'll have to do is amend their wastewater permits.
Yeah, so
And
whatever that,
so
you know,
the
is that
permitting
suddenly
will
a
have to go through.
60-day process or something?
I'm not exactly clear on that.
It's a 30 or 60 day
Yeah.
process.
So
I
would-
can't
would
figure
it-
out
would
what
it-
it is.
Would it be helpful if I emailed Brud and said, give me the sense of the timeline, just so I can respond when people ask me, or
Yeah,
does-
you could do that to find out from him what the lead time is for permitting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that once we have the allocation
Mhm.
letter, like, let's say,
Once
Ann
we-
Ryder living in Algiers wants water, so I send an allocation request to you.
Yep.
Which,
I then sent to Steve.
which you send to Steve, and then,
Steve sends back to me,
and
and then I
then
send back to you.
before I have the allocation letter to you, I have to have my permits in place, or after?
After.
Okay, so I just want to be clear
Yeah.
so I can answer people.
So that all the order of events,
Right.
there's a certain order.
Okay, I'm just gonna ask Brad to clarify that.
That's fine.
Okay.
And that's, yeah.
Okay. Highway,
Did they,
yeah, go ahead.
did they figure that problem that could be possibly with the yogurt factory up there?
Yes,
They figured that out?
that was the meter pit.
Okay.
And that
Mhm.
was the gauges and the valve, and there was
Yeah.
also the original, I wanna say valve that was ordered and spec'd out and costed out. Don't make it anymore because it contained lead.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to go through this big, I think you were at that meeting.
Yeah.
They had to go through this big ordeal
Yeah.
because they had to determine what other size they should use, and go through the whole process again, which was kind of a pain.
I can't believe they made anything related to water that had lead in it, frankly.
Amazing, isn't
I
it?
mean, currently, within the last, since whenever, 1978, okay.
I'm sure there's more to it than,
Mhm.
Highway, one of the trucks was just in the shop, getting spring work done and something else. As far as work goes, they're trying to get some grading done. Hopefully, they can finish up the gravel work for the FEMA.
Yep.
If there's money there, is FEMA coming through with their?
well, I can't submit until
Until the
they're
work is
all
done.
completed, invoiced, and all the bills done. And I get to put it together, a package of all of the mitigation work.
What's the
So,
timeline? They got to January, or is that one?
I think easily.
Okay,
I don't think that they're really pushing that.
okay.
Yeah, it was the 06 that had to have some work done to her front springs,
Yeah.
which is
Alan's
Alan's.
truck,
Mm,
2006
yeah,
International.
yeah.
So.
Finances,
I would like to make the following motions: that we pay payroll of $11,1812 for $6,532.95. Payroll of $112512 for $5,104.99. Total of payroll for $11,637.94. Warrant number 9, $19,569.65. For a total of expenses for $31,207.59.
I'll second, but can I ask a few questions? Just, I'm curious about the tree removal. Where was that?
That's down on East Mountain Road. I said the same thing.
it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's pricey.
Yeah, and so there was a tree that needed to be
Two.
Okay. And then the other thing is the camera, is that for the garage?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
great.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
While we're signing that, Herb, let's get right over you. You're here for John, so.
Well, my understanding was that John Angel had
signed up to be on the agenda. I don't see him on there, but,
Yeah, he did, and they canceled, Laura canceled.
oh, okay, I didn't know when Laura canceled it, so I thought I'd come
okay.
out and,
All right.
and, well, I knew that John wasn't coming, but I didn't know that they let you know, so I thought I'd come out.
I got a
because it-
voicemail late this afternoon.
Okay. My understanding was that John was gonna talk to all the towns because one of the towns had a problem with the RERP plan and didn't really understand it. I don't think we had that problem because we review it and you guys approve it, and if you think it doesn't work, you'll
We
get
say
on my
something.
case
Yeah.
and try to figure it out. So I just came to say that's why I think he was coming.
Okay.
And we have a busy year coming up, partly thanks to Dick, who decided that he was gonna,
I volunteered.
that we were gonna participate in the catastrophic exercise for 2014. So between now and March 14, we're gonna be busy.
What'd you do that for?
He didn't think he had enough to do, I guess, or he thought it was
So
gonna
tell me,
be fun.
what's this about exactly?
Well-
It's training for a catastrophic event unrelated to VY?
Yes,
I see.
yeah, they did one that was in 2011, and we didn't participate.
Okay.
So he thought we ought to participate in this one. So it's a statewide exercise. It'll be like a 4-day exercise when it happens, and there's a good list of towns throughout the state that are going to participate in some way.
Okay. So you just keep us posted. 4 days in a row?
Well, we're not gonna play that long, I don't think, but the idea.
Yeah, we can decide whether we want to play for 3 hours or 3 days or whatever. That's part of the meetings we're going to be going to.
Okay.
But my idea was to have this event and involve several different departments and actually close the roads down. So, I mean, people in town have no idea, some of them, if you send them on a detour and it's not their fault, I mean, they go boom,
They don't
boom,
know
day
where to
after
go.
day after day. Actually, I think in my mind, it's more of a people training exercise than it is for us. But I-
Sure.
it's-
Yeah, well, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
So you'll just keep us posted about it.
We need volunteers.
And we,
It's not-
and we have a big training thing from now until June, mid-June, when they're going to do a plume exercise, which will be a Yankee-related event. And
That's June of 2013.
12.
Well,
I mean,
13.
Yeah, 13. I'm sorry, 13. Yes.
That's where we're going tomorrow, right? What's tomorrow?
Yeah, that's tomorrow, and December 5th is the CADX.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, so we're gonna be traveling for a while. Hopefully, it'll come to telecons eventually, but right now we gotta travel. That's it.
All right, we got the finances all done. Communications.
Sorry. Okay. VTrans Program Development Division, the Transportation Enhancements Grant has been renamed with new and different funding and new and different categories to be called the Transportation Alternatives Program. And they're accepting applications now for the 2013 program. We will not be applying.
Why not?
It's not ready.
Okay, because the one area that I was, obviously, that we've talked about is something for that Algiers.
That's exactly
Intersection.
what I want to do. I don't know if I would be able to pull that one out of my hat this quickly.
Because when's it due?
I want to say December 12th.
Oh.
If you started tonight, you could.
Well, we also probably, I mean, I'm just nervous about that intersection. But also,
Oh, I take that back. January 18th.
Well,
And the reason I'm hesitant is we haven't started using our funding.
for the other grant.
Yeah, so I would like to have the summer of getting through that and having a track record of a pretty successful program
Okay.
to
That
show.
makes sense.
I know it is.
Also, I think having just gotten a big chunk of change from them, I'm questioning
Yeah.
how quickly we'd be eligible. What do you think?
Well,
You
that-
agree or disagree?
That
I
too, and
agree.
also I think once the housing project is constructed,
It'd be a more
and-
compelling argument.
it will be.
Okay, all right, I'm fine.
I
with
just, I don't know. I'd rather do a really compelling application than a one that maybe won't get funded, and I just, I don't know. Wyndham
Do
County,
you think that's a good area to be,
I do, I mean, it's,
I know you're anti-sidewalk.
pardon?
I know you're anti-sidewalk.
Yeah.
I don't care
Oh,
about
yeah, well,
sidewalks,
yeah,
I would
that-
like to see
yeah.
blinking light, whether we do
Yeah.
the narrowing or something
Yeah.
to,
I think that once that's kind of all done there, that the increased foot traffic is going to be the most compelling part
and
of it.
crosswalk, whatever. Okay.
And if the store, all of that, I think it's going to create a whole different
Like it a
dynamic.
ding-a-ling-ling so they can cross and all that. Well, you're around in Guilford, don't
I
you?
mean, if we can say on our application, it's a public transportation stop, it's a bike ped area. I mean, all of the
Yeah,
points
yeah.
that are part now of the application,
Yeah.
when all of that is in place and it becomes really problematic, it makes our application that
There's
much
a whole
better.
bunch of stuff that.
Okay,
falls.
okay.
And maybe along with that, we can get that pole moved.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, well, I'm
seriously.
saying, it's
yeah.
all part, could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
all part of the, and I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of the site design stuff has already been done through other projects, so that's,
Okay,
um,
but you're not opposed to that idea of doing a grant for that, cleaning up?
Well, depends on.
increasing traffic control really is what we need.
Okay.
Wyndham County Sheriff's Department, October STARS report. Got an email from the Department of Corrections, kind of interesting. They're going to be doing a corrections town meeting forum where people can go through interactive television and kind of buy into the whole correction process and give their input. We
Did
got,
we get some notification about that? I feel like I did.
yeah, you probably got an email.
Yeah.
Vermont League of Cities and Towns, a memo and a brochure about policing options for municipalities.
And at this point, we're fine with what we have in terms of police coverage. I'm just following in the newspaper, other towns and what they're,
Yeah, they've been out here. Did you get another bill for September? From the police, sheriff department?
We paid just our regular bill for September.
Yeah, but I mean, they were gonna, remember,
they were gonna do
Well,
a
they-
second one?
They gave us a second one right at practically the same day. It's almost like they sent a corrected
yeah, but I
bill.
called them up and had them
Sure.
talk to them about all that extra time that was on there.
Yeah,
And-
we're good. We only paid $333, which is all that we're,
Okay.
and we haven't seen any, and it didn't come through on the next bill.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, yeah, because you noticed,
Mhm.
that some of that's not billed, it's on there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Anything else?
I will ask what I asked at the beginning of the meeting. In terms of budget work sessions, what are we thinking about? It's almost December.
I know.
I would like to see it be extra meetings, special meetings, or whatever you wanna call it, budget meetings,
Sure.
rather than a time.
Budget work sessions.
Yeah.
Rather than time to a board meeting.
And we could probably do it in a couple meetings, or
Mhm.
like 2 in December and maybe 1 in January, or 2 in January.
I mean, honestly, I think that the goal of the exercise is gonna be to try and keep the budget as level as we can.
Right.
I don't know of anything out of the ordinary that needs to take place. I mean,
Well, there's the
we
fire
planned
department's
appropriately.
stuff, but.
That's
That's
not
theirs.
even ours, that's
Right.
theirs.
Yeah.
So then in that case, you're saying, what I'm hearing you say is that we don't have a huge amount of
Work.
hand-wringing work to do.
I don't think so.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so at all.
So with that in mind, as we just walk through it,
Mhm.
what do we think about for times?
Dan and I are gonna get together
Okay.
so that we can hammer
And
out
you've
two-
gotten stuff from everybody else? You need to get the budget request from, but you're gonna just say level fund, let's
Most of
just,
us
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that there's gonna be a reappraisal,
right.
so that's not anything that I'm contemplating in terms of having that discussion. That would be the only thing that would be the wrench tossed in. But other than that, no, I don't think that there's, unless there are any other, I mean, if the planning
I mean,
commission
there
had put
won't, how
together
can
a
you say you
capital
don't
plan.
think there's gonna be a reappraisal? Isn't it clear because of the CLA?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's not.
no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I didn't know if there was be a larger discussion about the idea of planning. So 2 years from now, let's work together and have a reappraisal. So maybe we want to tuck some money this year and next year.
Well, that's what I was,
Well, I
That's
guess
what
do
I
we?
thought we was going to do.
Do you wanna? We
I
get
would
money
like
from
to,
the
that's
state.
the one area,
Okay.
we've got the maps that are out of date, we have the
Mhm.
reappraisal issues that
So
are,
is it to push for the mapping project?
The mapping we should budget for and have somebody do it.
That
Yeah.
we've already, that was pretty much
There's been a
decided
lot of
last
land
year and never got
subdivided
done.
and things sold off.
Okay.
And it was decided last year that that would be funded through the reappraisal fund.
So I guess that would be the one
And then
department
it's
or
to be
whatever
done
is the
first.
listers that we might wanna,
How much money's in the reappraisal fund? About 80 something grand, ain't it?
Over 100.
Over 100.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
all right. So then Katie, are you saying that we don't need to schedule anything at this point, or we should schedule a few Friday meetings, or what's
Yeah.
your schedule like on Fridays? Can you ever get away during the day?
Tuesday mornings I'm open. I don't have to be to work on Tuesday mornings until 10:30.
That's not bad.
Tuesday mornings?
Yeah. If we did a Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock or something like that, maybe on the 11th or something like that. I've got an appointment on the 4th, but the 11th is
11th would be good.
11th and the 25th.
25th.
Just checking. See if you're paying attention. Maybe the 11th and the 18th.
The 11th and 18th
Sure, let's do that.
at 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, yeah.
I'm planning on having another headache. 25th.
Okay, so 8 o'clock? Good. And the 18th?
Yep.
Okay. Aren't you glad I brought that up?
Absolutely.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.